So today I'm going to tell you guys why you need to do a warm-up for every single run, but not every single type of run needs to have the same exact warm-up. How's it going, runners? My name is Justin Thompson. I'm your average running PT, and I help the average runner achieve their own personal elite status. If that's something you guys are into, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you know when the next video comes out. So I'm going to give you guys 3 reasons why you should be doing a warm-up for every run, and then at the end I'm going to tell you what I do for different kinds of runs, because not every kind of run needs the same exact warm-up. Now this isn't going to be a long video. I just want to make sure that I stress the importance of doing a warm-up and give you some brief overview reasons why you need to do them. So reason number 1 is to increase body temperature, and what this does is it actually helps improve nerve conduction, nerve transmission from the brain to the muscles, so then that nerve activity is actually much quicker, therefore you can perform better. Also, what it does is it helps warm up your muscles so that you improve your muscle metabolism as well. So increased nerve conduction and increased metabolism equals much more efficient and effective muscle contraction for when you're doing your workout. Reason number 2 is that it starts to increase blood flow. Now, other than just sending more fluid into the area, which helps lubricate things and helps it to kind of move a little bit better, number 2, it also helps to improve the amount of oxygen that's in your tissues and oxygen that's in the muscles. Now, when you have more oxygen in the muscles, it makes them more prepared for activity. So if you can start by giving it more oxygen with low-level activity, then whenever you start to do your harder activity, your faster running, your faster workout portion of your run, then it's going to be much more effective at muscle metabolism and improving that overall effectiveness of the muscle to be able to contract. So similar to number 1, where it's increasing your temperature, but now it's just increasing blood flow and fluid flow into the area so that you still again have a similar effect of much more effective muscle activity. And the third reason to do a good warm-up is to increase your central nervous system activity. So we're talking about brain activity, spinal cord, and just the conduction of the nerves from the brain to the muscles. Now, as you increase in intensity in your warm-up, which you should as you move through your warm-up, whether it's a 10-minute or 20-minute warm-up, it should start really low and then kind of progressively increase in the intensity. What it'll do is it'll start to require more brain activity, more central nervous system activity to perform those harder contractions. So as you start getting into a dynamic warm-up where you're doing more almost like plyometric based stuff, or things that require more forceful contractions, whether it be strides or little hopping exercises or running form drills, that'll start to increase the nervous system conduction and the nervous system generation of those action potentials from the brain down through the spinal cord and into those muscles. So really important to note that priming your central nervous system is going to be extremely important. Also, as you warm up, it's a chance for you to get more focused on the activity that you're doing. So it's that 10 to 15 to 20 minutes of just prepping yourself mentally to be ready to do the harder exercise and the harder workout that you're planning on doing coming up. So then what kind of warm-up should you do for various different kinds of runs that you're going to do? Now, before I answer that, go ahead and hit that like button down below for me if you're liking this video. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. So for me, I only break up my workouts into 2 main types. So I break it off into long runs and easy runs. So that's one grouping where it's just going to be easy mileage, easy running that's not going to be extremely challenging on the central nervous system and on your muscles. Okay, so it's just easy running, easy mileage. And then secondly, I'll put in there tempo runs, fartlek, speed session, all of these kind of things, hill workouts, stuff like that, where it's more challenging mentally as well as physically. So I only really break it up into these two different groups. So for long runs and easy runs, the best thing that you can possibly do to warm up your body, to prepare yourself for these easier sessions, because you're not requiring a bunch of central nervous system activity. It's just getting through those miles and getting through it in a way that you're not gonna, hurt yourself or lose form or things like that. So really you just want to make sure that your energy stays high enough throughout those easier runs. So for me, making sure that I ease into those easier runs just with easy, slow jogging. And sometimes I'll even start with a walk. So for me, that warm-up typically lasts about 10 minutes. And if I'm feeling okay to just kind of start running, then I'll go ahead and start with a slow jog, usually starting at somewhere around 10.5 or 11-minute pace. And then as I progress through that first 10 minutes, that pace will gradually build up so that I'll finish that first mile in somewhere around 10.5 or 10 minutes. So I kind of gradually build that pace throughout that first 10 minutes or so. Now, if I'm sore for any reason, or if I'm just kind of having a hard time waking up or getting the body going, then I'll start with a walk, and I'll do that for 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'll gently start to increase into the jogging and gradually build my body temperature and blood flow in that way. You just don't need as much of those big central nervous system type of activation exercises and things like that for these longer, easier runs. You just have to be a little bit more mentally focused to make sure that throughout your run, you're not losing your form. Now for the second type of run, for more tempo or speed or fartlek, or if I've got a specific hill workout or something like that, then I will definitely do something very, very different. So I will still do that easy 10 to 15 minute kind of easy jogging to warm up my body, get the blood flow going. But then we start to move into the dynamic warm-up, which starts with a little bit more gentle dynamic stretching, not static stretching. Static stretching is actually going to decrease the activity of the central nervous system and of the nervous system in general. So you don't want to do the static stretching before doing some of these activities or these harder workouts. What you want to do instead is more of the dynamic drills, dynamic stretches where you're kind of moving through large ranges of motion somewhat quickly to prime the muscles for getting through those bigger ranges of motion that you're going to use during these harder workouts. And then doing the running drills, high knees, butt kickers, things of that sort, skipping, all of those kind of things. And then I will always finish with somewhere around 3 to 5 strides of anywhere between 10 and 15 seconds. And usually when I do strides, I'm going at 85 to 90% of a maximal sprint. Okay, so I'm not going to go 100% and completely burn up my energy with that, but I will go pretty fast to prime up that central nervous system again. Okay, so I'm preparing my body, preparing my mind to deliver those hard muscle contractions that I'm going to be required to do during the hard workout. Okay, and then in the strides, if I'm going at like 90% effort, then I'm probably going to be producing an even harder muscle contraction than I will during the actual workout, unless I'm doing some sort of specific sprint or speed type of workout, top speed kind of workout, things like that. But what that does is it gets my body ready for those hard efforts, but then I can kind of back it down and it makes that hard workout actually feel a little bit easier. So prepping your body and prepping your nervous system for these harder workouts takes a little bit more intentionality with these dynamic warm-up drills and things like that. So let me know down in the comments below, do you have different kinds of warm-ups for different kinds of runs? tell me, do you break it down into just these two kind of categories, or do you break it down into multiple different categories? I'd love to see what you guys do for your warm-ups for different types of runs, and then list out what are the exercises that you might do, and why do you do those exercises? Because everybody does different exercises for different reasons. We all have different different ailments that maybe we are having, or different areas of tightness that maybe we need to work on more so than the other runner. So that's why I can't just give you guys, here's a general warm-up, because everybody might need to do something just a little bit different. So go ahead and do that. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys do. Now, head on out there, seek your elite. God bless, and I'll see you guys next time.